Today's episode of the Tavern Chat podcast is brought to you in part by Flipboard. Flipboard is one of those apps that you don't realize you're using it as much as you are until you don't have it. My prior phone, which was a Google Pixel, had it pre-installed. I used it constantly. It was a great place to catch current events, stories of interest, just fun stuff, all in one place. And I changed to an iPhone, and it took me a while to figure out that I was missing something, and what I was missing was Flipboard. So, if you don't have it installed on your phone or tablet, go to flipboard.com and correct that now. Hello and welcome to the not so amazing, not so wondrous Tavern Chat.
Why isn't it wondrous?
It's not so wondrous because we got Joe the Lawyer with us, so we have to become not so wondrous Tavern Chat. Not that we're wondrous in the first place, Rach.
Why not?
All right.
But we are at a tavern too, so
yes. So with me going from my left side, and we're going to get to Joe in the end, is Rach. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Rach.
There you go.
Hi, I'm Judd. I'm on a podcast called Daydreaming About Dragons.
And JoeTheLawyer here from Not So Wondrous Imaginings podcast and the Wondrous Imaginings blog, which is sort of being slowly resurrected, I guess you could say.
Well, there you go. See, that's definitely D&D-like.
Yeah.
So now, Rach, since you are the designated Irish Gaelic individual of this party, tell us where we're at.
We are at Faile,
Which is on
33rd Street.
131 West 33rd Street.
And Faile in Irish
Yeah, we're doing
translates to
harvest.
Rach,
I think we're good.
Rach, you want another round? Yes.
Sure.
That's a yes.
I'll have one more too, please.
All right.
As you can see,
Sorry, so Faile translates to festival, not feast.
Sure. I appreciate it. Thank you much.
Thanks,
Rachel,
man.
you were good? I'm sorry, I grabbed it.
Oh yeah.
So, as you can tell, we are live
Yeah.
at a table, having just finished brunch, eating. We ate well. We are drinking even better.
Yes, damn good food, actually. Really good food.
So, Joe has had his. We've all had our ciders.
Yeah. Then I did the Mad Elf. It's Troegs, Troegs, Mad Elf. Damn good. And then I hit the Long Island iced tea to sort of get things really going. And here we are.
Yes. So before this, we were at the Complete Strategy in Manhattan. If none of you are in the Northeast, you've probably heard of the Complete. If you've been following gaming for a number of years, as we have. Alrighty then. Well, we took a brief pause as my son driving all the way to Salt Lake City. Apparently got a flat overnight, off-roading to some extent to Omaha, Nebraska. The trials and tribulations of being the father of a son going cross-country for a new position on his job.
First time drive across country too?
Oh, yeah. Not everybody's an old-timer like you, Joe.
I only did it once there and once back when I moved to Colorado, but I gotta say, he's doing the route I took, the Nebraska route. If you can imagine one of the worst layers of the abyss, that's Nebraska. There is nothing, and you constantly feel like you're gradually going uphill, yet never arriving. It's almost like a Sisyphus kind of thing, you know? You just never quite fucking get there. Boom, I'm already throwing F-bombs in there.
Oh, I always do F-bombs.
Right.
Listen, this is the fucking 10 Cars Tavern
That's true.
podcast.
Drop them away.
World.
That is true.
You know, what's the quote? I think I'm listening to NPR radio, and then the F-bombs start dropping, and I realize I'm listening to 10 Cars. So, yes, F-bombs are par for the course.
All right.
But you also drove it in the summertime, so I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, it was. I took the more northerly route rather than the Kansas route because I figure it's a little bit cooler and I'm fat, so I don't want to like sweat my ass off. but it was just still, it was hellish. It was, or abyssish, whatever you want to call it. It was terrible. I just couldn't wait to get out. And then I saw the mountains of the behind Denver, the city of Denver, the mountains behind it. It happened to be like a big lightning storm going on at the time.
Oh, nice.
And it was almost like, God or Thor or Zeus, whatever, was welcoming finally to Denver. It was just a show for me for like, yes, finally I've made it here. Thank God.
Did that vibe ever make its way into any of your games? Do you ever find yourself using that as like a description?
It very well could be, because it was, if you ever wanted a bleak nothingness that goes nowhere, that's Nebraska. Sorry for any Nebraska fans out there who are the tavern, but my God.
Nebraskans are going to be crushed.
Move, please. Just move. Trust me, there's better shit out there.
There's got to be better shit out there. Did I say that? No. I'm just quoting Joe.
What'd you guys pick up at the strap?
I got minis. I got, it's a deadly addiction I've started doing now, and I picked up a few things for my players. I bought it's a torture rack. I bought a T-Rex.
Nice.
And I take pictures of these things, and I threaten my players, and I say, you're going to eventually, come across this thing.
Nice.
And they know I usually throw it in somewhere or another, and so since they're low level, they're going to be shitting themselves.
Nice.
All right, so Rach got for me Sandy Peterson's Guide to Lovecraftian Horror, and I look forward to reading this.
Very nice.
Should be very cool, very exciting. And then Rach got for us a Game of Thrones Hand of the King, a whimsical game of wits for 2 to 4 players. Should be fun. Maybe we'll play this later or at the next gathering.
So I guess it's cards and dice in there or something.
I don't know what's in there. We'll find out.
Yeah.
And then Super Kitty Bug Slap. Super Kitty Bug Slap is a game by Steve Jackson Games. And we got sold on this at Gamehole Con. Rach, give the background on this.
So we were sitting having a couple of beers with oh my gosh.
It's a good cider, huh?
Amy? No. I think her name might be Amy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think her name might be Amy, and she was telling us about this game that, they were playing in the pub. She was sort of like demonstrating the game, and then they started to play it in the pub, and, it sounded sort of like that old slapjack game, but a little different in terms of, cards and a little bit of strategy and whatnot. So I said, that sounds like a lot of fun. Might be good for my niece, so I got that so that we can play that with our niece. And,
nice.
Yeah.
And by the way, Amy happens to be Phil Reed's not personal secretary. What's the term we're using these days?
Executive assistant?
Executive assistant, thank you. And she goes with him to a lot of the conventions and stuff. And it was really cool. And I have her business card somewhere, but apparently not in my wallet. So I'm guessing it's with the rest of my game hall stuff in my badge holder. Don't be looking in your wallet. You're not going to find it either, Rach. Sorry.
Yeah, what'd you get, man?
I got a buddy of mine is going to be running a game, a D&D game. He's going to be running a Heist of the Dragon. Dragon Heist, right?
Yeah.
He's running Dragon Heist for a couple of dads in his neighborhood.
A couple of dads?
Yeah, he's like a new dad. A couple of I think his single digit kids.
Yep.
And so. Him and a bunch of dads are getting together to play some D&D.
Yeah.
And he's been gaming since we were 12, but I don't know what the experience of these dads are. So I bought him like a pound of dice, Chess X dice. So he just has like a big wad of dice for the table, and I got him a DM screen.
Okay.
And just kind of, it's his birthday tonight. So when I realized that you guys were meeting today, and I was going to his birthday later tonight, I was like, oh, this is a happy.
Perfect.
This is fate all lining up.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's good. I got to support my friend in his gaming and hang out with some new folks.
Yeah.
Turn online acquaintances into friends. It's good.
It's a good deal. Now you put out a thing yourself. We were talking about that. I saw it online. I looked you up and you said you were going to reach out to me.
I feel like a marketing schmuck because I actually had it in my bag yesterday, and when I was repacking my bag today, I was like, I'm going to take this out to get rid of room. insteed of bringing two for two like well-known podcasters to just take home with them, I took it out. So, and I just got a box of 4 boxes of 100 of them to start shipping. So yeah, I read a supplement for Sorcerer by Adept Press called The Dictionary of Mu, and it's a sword and sorcery on Mars dictionary supplement for worlds.
You got a nice description. I think you said it was, I think Solomon Kane, was it?
Call the Conqueror.
Call the Conqueror, plus the Bible, Christianity,
yeah,
plus Mars.
Plus probably Burroughs Mars. Yeah,
okay.
A little bit.
All right.
Those were kind of my touchstones when I was
Were you stoned when you wrote it? Because that's a hell of a combination
That's
to
an
do
interesting
there.
question. So I wasn't, but I was working. I was in my 20s. I had no idea what I wanted to do in my life because I was in my 20s. And I was driving a cab from 5 at night till 5 in the morning.
Where?
So I would come home. I would come home in the morning, and I would write for an hour.
Yeah.
So I don't really remember any of it.
All right.
Like I've had friends read me a passage, and I'm like, "That's vile. What are you reading?" And they're like, "You wrote it, jerk. Like, what are you talking about?" I'm like, "I have no memory," because I really wrote it in kind of this weird fugue state when I was half awake at dawn. So anyway, that's how Dictionary of Mu came to be.
Cool.
And I had a lot of good support from Ron Edwards and Lou Crane and Jennifer Rogers, who's the artist, and it was really, really good stuff.
Cool. Look forward to checking it out.
Nice first hard book publishing experience.
Planning more?
Maybe I'm putting together like some D&D house rules that are good. That like
5e or
I don't know what it's going to be. No, probably not. But I'm thinking about what I'll do is I'll put it into a really cheap kind of newspaper format and sell it and let everybody know that like, hey, this is going to go to some kind of charity. I understand that buying house rules is wonky, so I'm going to let you know that like I'm turning gaming geekiness into something good for the world, hopefully. So I'll like get a really cheap format and send it out. But anyway, I'm way off on that. I'm like still in a Google Doc writing out of my journal format for that. So I've got to do a lot of playtesting and we'll see.
Hey, speaking of format, I don't think we really developed a format for this. We're just going to wing it, right?
Yeah.
Here's something I've been wondering about. I was going to ask Tim Shorts. Maybe you guys could ask or figure it out, whatever you've heard about it. Now Tim Shorts has the Gothridge Manor blog, right? Or the Gothridge Manor zine, right?
He does the Gothridge Manor blog, and he does the Gothridge Manor zine.
Yep.
And he has a Patreon.
Yep.
So...
And here's the thing. I have old issues of a zine, like maybe the first 4 or 5. I liked it. Now, I know the zine is for old school stuff, and so you're under the D20, whatever, OGL and all that kind of stuff. Is there anybody putting out 5e zines? Is that even a scene? Is that a thing? Does 5e's license support a zine? Can you get in trouble?
Maybe the DM's Guild?
Well, what if I don't want to do that? What if I just want to make a freaking zine on paper? That's what I like about the zines. That's they're on paper,
right?
And I want to staple the shit myself, print it myself, and mail it myself. Does 5e even support that type of thing?
As far as I can tell, the OGL should support it.
Yeah.
And
well, don't use beholders or crap like that, right?
Right. You can't use certain IP.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to use that IP, you would have to distribute through the DM's Guild.
Okay.
Now, the problem with the DM's Guild or any of those programs on Drive-Thru RPG is that, generally speaking, the publisher takes a 20% cut.
Yeah.
A 25 to 30% cut is being taken by RPG Now, leaving you generally as the writer with about 50% cut. Now, if you're doing your own zine, printing out your own house, there is no share.
Yeah, that's what I want.
And if you're not going to the DM's Guild, you're giving 25 to 30% to RPG Now, but at least you're keeping about 2/3. It's about half.
I don't think I would even do a PDF version. I'm kind of weird like that. I just want it to be in print, and I want it to be one of those rare things that if you found it in print, unless some asshole took it and scanned it in on me, you're never going to find it otherwise. You know what I mean? I want it to be one of those, really an underground zine.
So I'm looking, I did a quick search with my phones because we all carry computers in our goddamn pockets.
Yeah, right.
And apparently Kobold Press is putting out like a 5th edition zines. They're called Warlock booklets.
Oh, yeah?
No idea. Never looked at it. Can't speak for it.
All right.
And there's something with N-World too that N-World is putting out some zines too.
Morris is in England though. I don't trust his his ruling. Didn't they put out the Osric in England just because they have different laws out there?
Well, they released Osric in England to insulate them from a possible lawsuit.
Yeah.
But Osric was Stuart Marshall and Matt Finch.
as opposed to Stewart, the other guy.
Right, and Matt is an American lawyer.
Yeah.
So he was pretty sure, I think, what he was getting into with that.
Yeah.
And Wizards of the Coast blinked. They did.
Yes.
They did. And once Odric was good, Labyrinth Lord, Swords and Wizardry, all your regular
Basic
clones,
RPG, all that one. Yeah.
they followed suit.
That was it. It was the little brick out of the dam that exploded everything in the OSR. Really.
Is there anything about 5e in particular that you want to zine about? Like, or
Well,
why isn't it an old school zine? I guess. Is what I'm saying.
Because I'm doing stat blocks and descriptions related to monsters that are 5e based.
Got it.
And I don't know if that whole form or format or just calling it shit like that. You know what I mean? If I make it a 5e based monster, for example, or class or something like that, are they going to bust my balls?
Well, look at other 5e releases from third-party publishers. They don't have individual licenses. They are working, even Frog Guy Games, they're working off the OGL. So if they have a format that they're using, it should be good.
Use the same thing.
Use something similar. Yeah.
Okay.
I just remember, keep away from anything that might infringe on Wizards of the Coast IP.
What about Blood War, things like that? I mean, if you go beyond, they get into
if you get into their IP, I bet if you dig into their IP, that's where things are going to get up.
Wasn't Blood War Planescape?
Yeah, it was that era. It was second edition.
Yeah.
Blood Wars and all that crap.
They're very specific about what you can write about on the DM skill.
Yeah.
So I bet that is an area where they might get spicy.
What I did
this is said by someone who has a blog called Githyanki Diaspora. So like,
well, there you go.
I'm in a messy, hazy territory here. But yeah, I don't know. Is it worth their time? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Especially if I put it in print and not PDF. You know what I mean?
Limited distribution is a way of insulating yourself to some extent.
Yeah. But he's going to order it from me and, this and that. I don't know. We'll see. I redid Cambions and Succubuses in a really... Cambions and Tieflings in a different kind of way, and I'm really kind of...
What'd you do with Tieflings? I call them... with the thing I'm writing, I'm calling them Fiendlanders. What are you doing with them?
All right, well, this is a long one. Maybe give me a couple minutes then. Take back to the house rules that I did, which everybody hates because I try to OSRify all my 5e games, and my players, especially the younger they are, the more they hate it, right? And so anyway, what I did was I eliminated Tieflings, Dragonborn as classes. I eliminated Warlock and Bards as classes. I eliminated Warlocks, and I eliminated Sorcerers as classes as well. Or races and classes. They're all gone, right? So what it comes down to is I made Cambions are the spawn of demon and... Because they have a blurriness with Cambions in this edition. They call it fiends and this and that. Yeah. But I make Cambions the spawn of demons and some, race, human, dwarf, whatever. And I made Tieflings are the spawn of devils in some race.
Okay.
I gave Tieflings the Warlock spell list, but nothing else under Warlock, right?
Okay.
Because it's pact-based, and Warlocks are pact-based creatures, right? And I gave Cambions Sorcerer spell lists, right? And I gave Dragons, because it says in 5e that dragons sometimes have spells up to the DM. Well, I gave them the Bard spells because I figured dragon songs, singing songs, Bard spells. A good way, because I know you love Bards, Eric, but I hate Bards. So I eliminated Bards and I upgraded Dragons in one fell swoop. And the other thing I did was I made Dragonborn as a race that are born of a female dragon, ancient dragon, and human, dwarf, elf, whatever. And they're born in 50 groups of 50 to 100 in a brood. And basically, they have potential access to some limited Bard songs as well as a class. Now, all Tieflings, Cambions, and Dragonborn all advance as a class, whatever class they want. Plus, they get the advantage of the other things I talked about, sorcerers and warlock spells. All right, so that's the gist of it. But I wanted to put it down in writing. I've been tinkering with it the more I play with it in my game, fine-tuning it and whatnot, and it's pretty long. I mean, it's probably 20-some pages long of all the details and descriptions.
It's a surprising amount of game design to make a class for that game.
I just got off on a
It's
thing.
shocking. It's shocking.
Yeah, I just got off on this thing. I was like, I don't know, a random one late night thing. I started typing shit because I didn't like the way it was, but I wanted to use some of the stuff so it wasn't wasted. And this is my good way to do it, I figured. I want to put it out in print that other people might enjoy it,
Sounds good.
Rather than put it on the blog. I don't know.
Right, and of course the first thing you got to do is do away with Bards.
Oh, fuck yeah. Sorry, I just don't like them.
Prior to Swords and Wizardry Light, I think my call to fame was writing a Bard class for the very last issue of the Knoxspell magazine that Matt Finch had out.
Yes.
So I guess you could say that I was instrumental in putting a nail in that coffin. Sadly so, but it was fun.
How are we here, guys? All good?
All set. Thank you.
Good
Good,
now.
sir.
Thank you very much.
And making sure we're properly imbibing in our alcoholic beverages.
Trying to hydrate us, that's all.
Yeah. I think Joe and I are furthest along in our third round.
Yeah. Doing good.
We're working on it, but we might need a fourth before we get everything to do.
Wait a minute, you might be on the fourth. I'm on my third.
Yeah, I think Rachel and I are on our third.
Yeah.
Are we on our fourth?
Oh, we're on our
Are we
fourth?
catching up?
Wow.
I think Rachel and I are half a glass behind. I think
You're half
we're
a
all
glass.
on our third.
There.
Oh,
Rach, it's not like yesterday at the pub where you were ahead of me.
well, that's my strategy was to go for the Mick Ultra so that
Okay.
I could advance a little more.
All right.
So in other words,
Power leveling.
So she took an easier experience point
Yep.
track
Yep.
to
It
and
was
make.
a little more Weight Watchers compliant. Not that
right.
I've been very.
No, those are optional rules that aren't usually used in our games.
Yeah.
Weight Watchers doesn't really apply to any of our advancing by drinking rules.
No, I house ruled those away, right, myself. Yeah, definitely. It's like the bards. House ruled out.
Well, actually, you didn't really house rule them out. You upgraded them to dragons.
Dragons. Yeah, and essentially the bard songs are dragons. And the other thing I did with Dragonborn is that you could have a Dragonborn gets access to half level progression in bard songs, right? So a fourth level guy gets up to second level bard would have had in the bard spells effectively.
Okay.
But they could also, every Dragonborn is inherently a cleric of either Tiamat or Bahamut, inherently. And they also, this is my way of multi-classing, rather than, because I did away with multi-classing as well. I didn't like it.
Okay.
So, but I made
I
certain
think I sent
classes.
Erica a message about multi-classing.
Yeah. So I did. You did me too. You sent
Oh,
me
was
one
it you?
too. Yeah,
Was it you?
yeah.
Okay, it was you. I forget.
Yeah.
I'm getting mixed
That
up.
was.
Okay.
I haven't responded to it yet, but I can respond here.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
I get mistaken for a lot of people in this game. at Gamehole Con, somebody thought I was Bad Mike.
Really?
Yes.
No. I've been listening to so many Anchor podcasts that it's pretty easy to get them
They
mixed
do
and
blur.
shoved up. So
They do blur.
So I
Yes.
was like, oh, it was Joe who hated
Yes.
multi-classing. Yeah.
I got rid of it because I said, well, first of all, let me jump back there. So basically, the Tiamat and Bahamut, you're a cleric, and you can advance another class. So potentially, you could have 3 different spells going there as a Dragonborn. So they're kind of badass. They're not any players can't play them. Players can play tieflings, and players can play cambions. They're all NPC shit. But in my multi-class thing, I said I didn't like it because I never liked where people took a splash level. I think I'll do a splash level of wizard and then a splash level of this just to get something, right? Everybody did it 2 levels of thief for some reason or another because they got some evasion or whatever. But my take on it was that if you're going to be trained as a wizard, you start at age 14, it takes 10 or 15 years, then you come out as a wizard. How is a fucking fighter, age 18 years old, first level fighter, I'm going to take a splash level of magic user? My splash level, how? How does that work within the game? Retire for 10 years, come back, then I can say you took a splash level.
Do you
it never
retire?
made sense.
I don't know. You go, Gary.
Here, I mean, I'm going to tell you my 1E rules breaking deal was if you rolled a fighter who had enough intelligence and had a high dex, I would take one. My DM ruled you had to advance the fighter before you could change class.
Yeah.
So you took 2 levels as a fighter. You switched out to be an illusionist. You switched an
This is the old dual classing.
right. With dual
Not
class,
multi-classing.
multi-classing,
Yeah,
dual
yeah.
classing. You take now you advance as illusionist. Once you hit 3rd level as illusionist, now you can cast illusionist spells, but still use fighter weapons. So, Phantom Armor, Phantom Plate Mail. It absorbed damage.
Yeah.
It lasted until dispelled.
Yeah.
Nobody would disbelieve it when my quote fighter with a 2-handed sword in his hand came running up on you with Phantom Armor.
Yeah, that's a badass 1E hack right there, man.
That was a 1E hack that I really thoroughly enjoyed. And if my armor got destroyed, I was no worse off than a regular illusionist.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
As for 5e, it sounds like 5e multi-classing is kind of like old school dual classing.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. But you keep going. You can start as a level of this and a level of that, I think it's more restricted than Pathfinder, a little bit more so, and 3X and all that stuff, but I still just don't understand. To me, there has to be some basis in reality. Like, I could get how, like, let's say, example, an assassin, trained as a youth, brought up in the guild, learns a bunch of skills, right? How is he going to go out on his own without his assassin guild killing him? My brother says, well, what if the guild burnt down to the ground and he's the last one left? All right. How is he going to train? I could assume that the Assassin Guild trained him in the basics to get the first level, and maybe gave him the foundations of what he would need to know to get the third or fourth level, and he perfects that as he goes. How's he going to get the shit that you need to be 16th level to know if he's not part of a guild? I don't institute training like the old first edition does. You need 6 weeks or 8 weeks with a person who trains you. But there needs to be some level of access to something with knowledge or ability to train you and level you up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, two things. One real world, one fictional world. Right?
Yeah.
Fictional world first. Grey Mouser. Right?
Yes.
Sometimes I want to play a guy with a wand in one hand and a dagger in the other.
Yes.
And I like that image.
And that was your voicemail to me.
Yeah. So real world stuff is that as a librarian who loves to who leaves work, closes the library, and then goes and does jiu-jitsu, I know what it's like to, like, if I'm going against someone who's really good at jiu-jitsu, they're going to choke shit out of me because I'm a librarian.
Okay.
On the mat. But away from the mat, if I'm going against someone who has no idea what they're doing on the ground, I'm going to choke the shit out of them.
Yeah.
So I understand what it is to be like, I live by words and the written word and the book in my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
But then, like,
I bust loose at night.
Yeah, I bust a little loose at night.
Yeah,
I can see like a wizard who's like, I bust my ass 9 hours a day, and then after I have my last meal, I go take a sword lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want that.
And that's how the Mauser did it. The Mauser was an apprentice for years and years and years.
And he ran.
And then he ran and then became a swordsman.
Right.
I'm talking about the flip side. He spent his 10 years learning the basics.
Right.
He could advance on his own to some extent on his own.
Right.
Flip side, how's a fighter going to get his 10 years in within 3 weeks?
Or is it possible to be a really shitty, irresponsible, bad wizard? Like, is it just bad? Like, to like have one spell that you do really mediocrely?
Well, the Mauser never had any spell work for him, if I remember right. Everything got fucked up.
I like that idea, and it's an idea that's hard to do with the 5e system, but it's kind of a fun idea.
You know where it works? Astonishing Swordsman and Sorceress Hyperborea.
Nice.
Which, holy shit, I said that drunk without slurring it. Wow.
He's not drunk enough.
Probably easier to say when you're drunk.
Yeah, right?
It definitely is.
Right?
It definitely is.
That is where the system, he breaks down them classes. Every class is a multi-class. For example, he has the basic 4, and then every other subclass is usually a combination of 2 other ones, which fit the system very well. Like there's a cleric thief. He's a cleric of the god of thieves. Makes total sense.
Yep.
Right? Things like that make total sense to me. And that's a setting-specific thing.
And there's a cool... you guys aren't going to like it because I don't think these is the type of game you'd like. But with Burning Wheel, there's a lot of cool mechanics for learning new things, which is fun. Do I think you guys would like that game based on your podcasts and blog posts? No, I do not recommend it for you. But I'm saying like there are other systems that I think play into that maybe class-based doesn't play into that subtleties and complications of how real life works, Okay. And also, as soon as anyone says real life, like my hackles go up. I'm like, that's, I don't know.
You're getting too serious about your fucking game, kind of thing.
Too fucking serious, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you done Burning Wheel? You ever played that?
I've never played it. Burning Wheel is written by the guy who, one of the partners over on
Kickstarter.
Thank you. Luke Crane.
Yep.
All right. Luke Crane, the one who makes up his own rules for running a Kickstarter. And I'm not even going to go there. It was.
Don't go there. He's a friend of mine.
It was a mess when he did that. The pushback was huge. That being said, I understand he's a good game designer.
Yeah. If you guys ever want to play, let me know. I'll totally put something up and we'll play.
What happens?
Another cider, please.
Yeah, another iced tea.
Especially since I found out that Eric and Rachel are my neighbors, so absolutely. If you guys ever want to try it, let me know. You can absolutely try it.
Cool. Queens resident. Yeah. Hey, if we
you guys are neighbors, kind of, aren't you?
Yeah.
There you go.
In the grandstand.
Sounds good.
If we do it on the weekend, I'm sure I can get a room at the grandstand, our local pub. Get a table in the back.
Good pub, by the way. Yeah, you got the wedding room back there, right?
Oh, yeah, you came.
Yeah.
We brought you there one time.
Yeah. You do a mini con down that room,
Yeah.
No, we could.
You could do the tanker con or something.
Yeah, we could.
Tanker con.
Yeah, if only we had someone who had a blog with some kind of presence. I don't know. I can't think of anybody.
New York City, the tanker
As I
con.
stare at
No,
our...
Ten con. You'd have
Tank con, yes. Dude, come on. Shit. Starts in your local pub. It's down the road.
Yeah.
You can stumble home afterwards. You're good to go, man.
Coming this spring, TenCon.
It has been
wait.
It has
Whoa.
been decreed.
Whoa.
Rachel has been decreed. It is now happening this spring.
Rach, I know you called the shots, but that's a shot heard around the world. Here.
We better get to work then.
Book your flight tickets. It's coming.
Yeah, we'll send you to the Pan Am Hotel.
It's now a shelter.
Yeah, which is now a homeless shelter. But it's where my wife's family stayed the night before our wedding.
And I stayed there with my family.
Oh, there you
Prior
go.
to it being a shelter, I hope, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a shelter
We
then.
wondered what was going on. It was getting a little homely, like,
The carpet's a little raggy, and all of a sudden it's like, oh.
Watch out
Jesus,
for
you
the-
blink your eyes.
Watch
you get
out
a
for the
shelter.
bed bugs nowadays, right? I just spilled my drink on me. It's a good sign that I'm needing another one.
Well, yeah, you gotta, prep that glass back.
Yeah, that's all. TenCon, I like it. And you got a certain location, and we'll hook you up.
No, I know. I'm guessing that before that we'll hit the numbers to actually do an online TenCon.
All right.
Yeah.
Because isn't Hobbs and Palooza going on right now?
How's the Palooza going on right now? I didn't hear about it until I think Monday of last week. I love Jason. He's
What's he doing? What is Hobbs?
he's organizing some online games, and he's kind of hosting it through his Discord. It's a good idea. I would have loved to have participated if I had a bit more of a heads up.
He talked about it, so I didn't know what the hell it was until he finally one day solidified it. Like you said, it was too late. We had to reset this thing going in motion,
So, but it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And Pex and I, my right hand over in the Discord channel, and many things 10-car related.
He's really good. Cool guy.
He really is. We're working on organizing an online con, something on the 10-Car Tavern Discord server. And it's, we're trying to not just get games, but maybe a panel or two together.
Nice.
For the publishers. So it should be fun. It should be exciting.
He set me up because I wanted to learn how to play the games online on the server, and apparently it's not even related to having something set up on your Discord server. He did set me up with a room on there for my own stuff to talk about or whatnot, but he walked me through how to run a video chat game there, just like in the old school G Plus Hangouts.
Yeah.
And it's real simple. I don't remember it now because, Long Island's. But it's simple to do, and he can walk you through it, in 5 seconds flat. It's nice.
really fun. I've done online gaming, and it's really nice to be able to...
Long Island is here.
Good Lord.
Thank you.
We need to cut this man off.
It's just starting tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's nice to be able to gather people from all over geographically and play a game. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I recommend my having played a bunch of those. I recommend keeping the groups a little bit small, just like maybe a little smaller than you're used to. But taste may vary.
Yeah. What was our Saturday group? What did we used to do? 5, 6?
We had about we could have as many as 7, but it usually was 5 or 6 plus the GM was about right.
Number,
How'd that work for you?
It worked fine. I find that face-to-face, especially at a convention, I can run 10 to 12.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And be anything more than that, probably a bit risky for me. Online, I probably would max at 8 and be more comfortable around 6.
Okay.
Only because there's more distractions online. You have to engage your group a bit more with an online interface. But when you're running face-to-face or at a convention, you can keep that pace going pretty well. Joe will tell you, I don't sit down at a convention.
No, that was a rare thing.
I stand, because if I stand, it was a little cramped at CharterCon, but I like to walk around the table. I like to engage my players.
Yep.
And by engaging them, you do 2 things. You keep them involved in the game, but you also keep them from overthinking stuff.
Yeah.
You want to keep them moving. They can overthink at your home game, that's fine. You actually want that, but at a convention, you want to keep that pace going. So even when you're writing a convention game, it's a different mindset. You want a game that moves fast.
That makes sense.
Whereas at a home game, it can be as intricate as you want. You know your group, they're repeat players, and they can play the long game. You can't do that at a convention.
That was great at the big online G Plus stuff. Sean Sanford. He does a Saturday game at 4 o'clock for 2 hours, and he's been doing that for at least, I think, 5 to 6 years.
Wow.
And he's open everybody until it fills up. I think it fills up at 10. Him plus 9 or something like that. I don't know how this guy does it, but he does AD&D or old school rules every game, with some variation of old school rules, and he runs old modules. And nothing, and he just runs them, and he keeps everybody in line, and the things go smoothly. I don't know if it's a function of him, but he's a really good GM. But I don't know if it's a function of probably a combination of him being a great GM and the players that he plays with. There's a core group of maybe 5 to 8, and then drop-ins.
Right.
And they're really all used to each other.
Yeah.
And so it's a great setup, where he can just keep that thing rolling nicely. The players do it nicely. Nobody interrupts each other. Nobody tries to take center stage. There's no assholes or dickheads, as far as I remember. I haven't played him in 2 years, but it's a great game. If you ever want to watch somebody run a 10-person game or 9-person game online, watch his thing. It's really good. Really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, Sean Sanford. Good stuff. I don't know where he's doing it now or how he's doing it now. It's been about 2 years, but check him out.
Back in the day when I was doing Sons of Krylos podcast, we talked to Kevin Zambita from Palladium Games, and he talked about running those kinds of big, like a dozen or more people at the games. He said one of the things he would do is he would walk them up to a die roll, and then right when they got to it, he would cut to someone else.
Oh,
and so like there was that
anticipation.
Shit.
Yeah.
Like, it was interesting to hear I feel like guys like that very often we don't talk about technique a lot, but there are techniques that you use, and they help other people. Yeah, and it's interesting.
They do. Well, our first convention, North Texas, 5 years ago. Matt Finch was Rachel's first wholehearted D&D like experience. Matt Finch running Mythos Tower. We had 18 people at the table.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it had to be at least
18 people at the table.
That's a lot.
Children.
Well, no, it's before the children.
Oh.
18 people at the table, including Dr. Dennis Sestair from the Sester's Chariot and the Swordbearer game and stuff. And what happened is that Matt stands on chairs. And
Does he? He DMs on a chair?
And when the table gets really
or
full,
a table.
he stands on the table.
Wow.
That's how you get your view of Matt.
Yeah.
And what happened was,
So you spend the 4 hours staring at his crotch. Is basically.
basically, but listen, it's Matt Finch.
We're like 30 minutes in. There's not been a dick joke yet. So I thought,
Well, we have to work on a dick joke. So, honest to God, we're about an hour into the session, and 4 kids come running up to the game. Now, this was Bill Webb's son and daughter, and 2 of his godchildren. And they jumped into the game, so now we're at like 22. And Dennis Sestair, deadpan, says, will somebody kill these children off?
I mean, this guy was serious about playing. He came with files like this, like he was going to court to prove his case, or he'd been studying this for like how many years?
Like a rules lawyer.
Yeah. But he had like so much with him, and he was so intense about it. I was like, wow, people really take this seriously. I've never seen it before.
do you remember? Is there a moment from that game that stands out to you, other than the children killing?
Yes, running.
Infanticide.
When a group of nearly 2 dozen is fleeing for their lives.
Oh, interesting.
And the idea is to throw the not the women and children, but the newbies behind.
Leave 1 minute for the beer, buddy.
Can I get a glass of water?
Long iced tea on the beer come out again there?
Yeah, it's very good Long Island. Thank you, buddy.
Can I get a glass of water?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
So in any case, we have that, and then you have Bill Webb, who I've seen run with as many as 26. 26.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I was just an assistant there to find people seats. They are very talented. They are very skilled at this. Their sweep point is probably around 15 to 16. Beyond it, but they do well. It's all. Listen, 9 out of 10 parts of successfully running a convention game is pacing. The other 10th is improvisation.
Okay.
I don't think knowing your adventure is as important as being able to improvise.
Okay.
And if you let your players think too much, you're gonna have very bored players.
All right.
That's my advice.
I've never run a convention game. The only thing I've ever done, I started the game at a library a while ago because I was there for some show, and the librarians, I saw this flyer saying we have game night. The very bottom of all the list of board games said Dungeons & Dragons. I'm like, you do D&D? Librarian goes, well, we want to, but we don't know how to play. I said, well, I'll show you. I've been doing dirty whatever years. So we did this thing. A bunch of kids. He had a built-in group, right? So lot of young guys, a lot of young kids between like 10 to 15. And so we got him and a bunch of kids and a couple of adults, and it was a 5e base game, and I had 10 players at once, and I was pulling my fucking hair out. I'm not used to that many players. My sweet spot's 5 to 6.
Right.
And it was like, holy shit. We got to about 12 players, and he broke up. The librarian learned enough to play it by that point to break his own group. So I had 6, he had 6. It was a nice deal. That's my sweet spot. And it's still going. It's kind of proud of it. It's like my little legacy. I don't have kids, I'm not married, none of that shit, but I got a D&D game group going at the library in Derby, Connecticut. That's like my little legacy. It's kind of cool. You know?
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's going to last beyond me. You know?
Nice.
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
That is what you would like to see.
Yeah. Put that on my damn tombstone. You know what I mean? Cool uncle and decent DM. You know what I mean? That's all.
There you go.
I noticed though that when I played, online, even me, I remember you made a comment, Eric. He's a good DM. He's even better when he's not drinking. I noticed I can handle the people. The amount of people I can handle goes down the more drinks I have.
Oh, okay.
As a rule, I don't drink when I DM. As a rule, I drink when I play now. But
Is that a rule?
I'm not saying it's all right, Rach. It's an optional rule to be implemented as I see fit.
A house rule, if you will.
It's a house rule.
We'll have to watch that.
Rach, I'm closing the curtains between the two rooms next time. For those of you who
It's still here.
who don't know, my wonderful wife, Rach, is the acting director of the drug and alcohol treatment program in Manhattan. So, yeah.
Really? I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so don't
A few
expect...
blocks away from here.
Yeah. So don't expect me to get too much into the bag.
Yeah.
Unless my wife is getting into the bag with me. Not
She would
saying
never
that's
do that.
happened.
She's drinking water right now.
But sometimes you have to make choices, and I'm not going to tell you the choice you had to make. But it was an awesome one. Oh my God, she's turning red right now.
I love it.
I'm going to tell this story off the podcast.
Please do. I gotta hear it. You gotta hear it now. That much red, there's gotta be a good story behind it.
All right, we are over 40 minutes into the podcast.
Plus the other 5.
Well, that's it. We're at 38 plus over.
Wow.
I think we're going to call it so I can tell.
Overachieved.
So I can tell the story now. If others want to hear the story, maybe I'll have Rach tell it herself on Wednesday on the Tavern Chat.
All right.
I don't know. It might take a lot to get it out of me.
We have some Jack Daniels Fire at home, and that goes down so nice.
Yeah.
We'll get Rach talking. So, folks, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. We had a great time.
Yeah.
We're going to try to do this on a fairly regular basis.
Quarterly, you're thinking?
Quarterly, maybe a couple times a year.
Yeah.
And we'd hope that some more of you join us.
Yeah, this is fun.
This is fun.
It's fun. A good
like
shopping
the quarterly
expedition
idea.
and hang out, have a few, chill out, and it's nice.
So on that note, I'm Eric Tenkar.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Judd.
And JoeTheLawyer.
And this has been a Not So Wondrous Tavern Chat, episode number 1. For the actual Tavern Chat, it's episode 200.
Congratulations, buddy.
Joe, how many is this for you now?
I'm up to maybe like 10. This might have put me in double digits.
All right.
It's close.
Well, thank you for listening.
200 multiplied. Nice.
That's awesome.
All right, folks. We'll catch you later.
Later.
Bye-bye.